Man, we are really getting spoiled with this main card. This next one's going to be a beauty as well. We got Kevin Holland fighting Ronaldo Souza. And man, what a legend that guy is. You know, what a career he's had. He is moving down weight classes to take this one into middleweight against Kevin Holland. So, you know, let's touch on Holland a bit. He's had a very busy 2020. I can't believe this is his fifth fight in the last 6 months, man. Like, what a beast.
And with COVID in the middle.
Exactly. Like, what the true definition of a fighter, you know what I mean? Yeah, he's gone 4-0 in that period. We've seen him knock out Joaquin Buckley, who's quickly rising up the ranks. You know, his only loss in his last 9 was to Brendan Allen a while back. So, you know, we're very high on this dude, and reasonably so. And so on the flip side, you know, we got Jakar Souza here. Obviously, he has a sparkling resume, so many credible fights, you know, in his career. He is coming off of 2 losses in a row to Blachowicz and to Hermanson, who we just saw this past Saturday. You know, it's going to be curious to see what he has. His other losses include Gastelum, Whitaker, Yoel Romero, who was just forced out of the UFC. So, you know, his resume speaks for itself. He's had 3 canceled fights himself in 2020 already. So he's itching to get back into the ring. And, you know, what a legend. This guy's 41 years old and still just trugging along, you know?
Oh yeah, definitely. I definitely know. And so I'm gonna just give you a quick look. Like if I can't remember the last time this many of my, like, I'm not just gonna say favorite fighters, like the fighters I absolutely love. Like I love Ronaldo Souza. I love Charles Oliveira. I love Tony Ferguson. I love Junior Dos Santos. This is insane to me that these guys are on this card, and I've basically been planning my entire life around today. And so here we go, Pies. Ronaldo Souza. I have watched grappling competitions of this guy for hours. I have just sat and watched this guy in BJJ tournaments for hours and hours and hours. Him and Maya, like I can do it for as long as you need me to. He decided to make that jump very late, which I think is kind of disappointing. But at the same time, you know, he did what he had to do to kind of make the jump and be successful right away, which is what you kind of want to do. You know, Daniel Cormier was the best example. Strikeforce was a great opportunity for a lot of these fighters to kind of transition over to the UFC when they got bought out, because Strikeforce was a very, very, you know, highly contested competition for the UFC, and they did a great job at that time. You know, Nick Diaz has some fights there too. So looking further now, like you said, unfortunately, Souza didn't get to that title area that he really hoped. He did take on, you know, the current champion as his light heavyweight debut and did lose a 5-round decision. That's good news for him, right? The thing with Souza is, unfortunately, the power only works on fighters who don't know how to strike that well. You know, like I've seen him lay guys out, and I think he gets hungry for the knockouts. But when you do that against the fighters that are, you know, technically sound and better than you at striking, unfortunately, it doesn't go your way. You know, Sousa's the kind of guy that needs to be in there constantly thinking about how to get the fight to the ground, because that's how he's going to find success. And, you know, we've seen him fight some of the best fighters in the world. And unfortunately, if they can compete on the ground and on the feet where he's not as competitive, he loses. It's just so like that's what happens. And so he does need to brush up the striking, and frankly, he needs to be way more aggressive with the groundwork. Problem is that the UFC has a lot of guys that do have good defensive jiu-jitsu. So at the end of the day, like he might be able to kind of work his way to the ground and try to stay on top and get some poundage in there. But, you know, like the competition is getting fierce, and unfortunately, it's just not as easy as to ride guys out and pull off these submissions as quickly as you normally can, you know? And that's where I feel like his career is taking a bit of a dip.
And that doesn't bode well against Holland either.
Well, yeah, because like let's just quickly jump into Holland right now. You know, he's got the ability to kind of keep his distance. He seems to see the fight very well. He knows when he should be distance striking. He knows when he needs to kind of land some kicks to keep himself in the game. He knows when he's been hit and kind of needs to back up a little. Like that's where you see Kevin Holland being a very smart fighter. Now, the only area I do see it as being a tough fight for him is on the ground, because, you know, he's got a good ground game, but Ronaldo Souza's heavy. Ronaldo Souza's a natural light heavyweight now. So he's going to be going in there and trying to take this kid to the ground and really trying to, you know, muscle him into a position that's just not very favorable. Problem is, I love Holland's striking. Whether you need the power from him or whether you need the actual technical striking, you know, later in the round to score some points, he's got it all. And I think that is where, as long as he doesn't get submitted, I don't think he's going to get knocked out. But as long as he doesn't get submitted, he has a very good, you know, repertoire and potential game plan to kind of lock that fight up probably by decision.
Wow. Yeah, that's high praise for sure. And so diving right into the lines here, who do you see as the favorite coming out in this one? This is a tough one to call, man.
Yeah, it's weird because you got all the hype train in the world versus, you know, what you would consider not only, you know, the top level pound for pound jiu-jitsu fighter in the UFC, but like a guy who's just seen it all, done it all kind of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the part that really just kind of rubs me a little bit. But at the same time, I just can't help but feel that in this new era UFC, with how Souza has looked in his last fights, it would shock me to not have the favorite line on Holland just based on public play. So I'm going to go with Kevin Holland as a minus 160 favorite.
I'll give you the bell for this one. You were about to muster out the right line there, too. And then you decided to go a little higher, but let's bring it up. I'm going to still give you the bell on this.
Was it 130 then? 130 is what it was?
So he actually opened at a minus 140.
Mm-hmm.
If I look right now, he's a minus 125.
Oh, so he's really good. Okay,
shrinking a bit.
Cool.
Yeah, it does look like this is going to be a straight pick'em.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, I see value on both sides. And it's hard for me to call the game plan. I've talked to you, you know, I've eaten your head off on what is the deciding factor, at least for me. And it's, you know, you see the weigh-ins and all that kind of stuff, but it really is game plan. You know, you can look at a fighter and see how he punches, see how he kicks, see how he grapples, you know, see how he fights against the clinch, see how he, you know, works with boxing, all these little things. But at the end of the day, if you're not watching keeping at the guy or getting coached to kind of exploit his weaknesses and utilize your strengths, it's just, that's the part where, you know, you can't make that call without being in that corner. And so this is a tough one, man.
Yeah, stay tuned if we lock in anything for this one, but it seems like it's going to be a very, very close fight that we're looking forward to. All of our picks are going to be locked in on Instagram, on Twitter. We'll be making sure to post all our plays, including the entire fight night card, all of our picks. As always, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Anything else you want to plug, Siraj?
Yeah, honestly, guys, this is probably gonna be my favorite card in a very, very long time, and so I'm gonna try my absolute best with Paisan to get as much, you know, content rolling out as we can for this week. We're gonna have a lot of fun with it, and I'm excited to, you know, maybe get together with you, Paisan, and watch, because this is gonna be an absolute fire card. I can't wait.
Oh yeah, I can't wait either. It was a pleasure,
good.
Siraj. Love talking to you, man.
You too, my boy. You know, maybe I'll be back in my Edward Snowden dungeon soon, but till then, peace out, y'all.
Later.